Welcome. Today I am talking about rubrics, and I want to share with you some things that I might have unintentionally done in the past with my students that did not really think was probably hurting them. I had great intentions around rubrics, and then what I learned over the course of my career. So, as you guys know, I am the owner of Monarch Educational Services. So happy to be with you guys today, and I'm going to get started. So, again, thanks to Canva for being so awesome as I have built out this slide. So, first, what's a rubric? It's a part of our formative assessment essentials. Now, formative assessments are these check ins that we're doing along the way. A rubric can also be a summative assessment, but right now I'm talking about it as a formative assessment piece. Okay, so summative assessments would be your project rubric or your end of unit rubric or something that is encompassing a longer period of time. I'm talking about for like the SOAR framework, I'm thinking of it as that uh, part of our revise and reflect and what we need to give our students at the beginning so they understand the expectations of what we're looking for, what makes this a great writing piece. So let me talk about SOAR specifically with this formative assessment rubric. If you would like other rubric conversations around more summative pieces, I would be happy to do that. I love talking about assessments and how we can make this easier for teachers, but also the best for our students so it's easier for them. Because when we're doing feedback rounds with our assessment pieces and our rubrics, SOAR has the revise and refined, which is crucial. And in the past, I did not, now I'm talking like earlier in my career, I did not understand the benefit of allowing for peer feedback and peer review because I didn't know how to set it up. I didn't know how to structure it in a way that it was actually beneficial for students. But I know now because that's what happens when you become a veteran teacher and you've done this a long time. It's really a lot of times research based, studying, learning through coaching, being coached by others, and then trying things, right? And so I have found some tried and true pieces that have worked in my career with teaching writing, and that's why I love sharing them with you. So when we also thinking about formative assessments, it's not just with the end in mind always. It's I want a rubric to serve as a guide for students, that they don't just look at the beginning and look at the end, but that they can have it right there with them, almost as a like guiding pathway for them in order to make sure that they are hitting the elements that they need to do to showcase their best work. And bottom line, we need rubrics that are clear and descriptive enough, but not overwhelming, that it clearly states the expectations and can also offer a next steps for improvement. So there needs to be a space on the rubric where students can take notes. They can sticky note places. You can sticky note spaces where you have actionable steps that they can take and go back in. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second while I hit next slide. And here we go. Ooh, here's my confession. Too many categories. It was too much, too quick, and I really didn't even look at the rubrics after I made them because it was crazy. So not only did I overwhelm my students, when it came time to grade it, it was taking me so much more time to grade essays and writing constructed responses. And honestly, it wasn't doing anybody any good. Okay. I was giving these rubrics because I knew that I needed to. I understood that formative assessments and rubrics help not only set expectations, but it allowed me to kind of look at writing pieces holistically going into it. Because as you know, it is subjective when we're grading writing. So when we have rubrics, it really helps align us. But man, my kids were lost or they would just gloss over it. And it didn't dawn on me that I was giving too many categories. So I started learning. Thank you. And I want to share it. um, and, you can make a rubric, right? It can be like the fanciest rubric ever. And that's fine. It can be beautiful. It can have emojis. You could spend all of this time. It can really look professional, but it can be instructionally useless. And then why are we doing that? And so I think when I hit the mute. Um, I think when I was early in my career, I was doing things more for, oh, this is a checkbox. I know I need to do this, but I didn't quite understand the intricacies around rubrics. And I was really just teaching students like how to survive within a grid or a checklist. But I wasn't really teaching them the why or the how because I maybe didn't even grasp onto it myself. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what research is consistently showing out there, that writing improves when assessment is a part of the process. And we understand that, right? We understand that assessment is not an after effect, it is an ongoing piece. And with R, with that revise and refine, it also means that we're embedding this naturally into the writing process. So we are not showing our students that this is like something extra. This is the thing that we do. Um, it's part of that holistic process of what makes great writers. And so, in a meta-analysis, y'all know I love meta-analysis because they're doing a lot of that work for us. They're pulling in and they're looking for patterns and articulating it in a way that we can then take it research to practice. Okay, so on a meta-analysis, and I've got all my research here, Graham, Hebert, and Harris, they found that teacher feedback with peer feedback and self-assessment all improve the quality of writing. And like I said before, I would do teacher feedback and I would have writing conferences and I was trying to do a writing workshop model, but I was not integrating the peer and the self like I should have been doing. So over time, I learned how to do that and to make it become a part of our way that we approach writing. So this was the way we did our writing learning lab because it matters because it's not just about them receiving the grade. And, kids will say, well, what's my grade on this? Well, is this an A? Well, it's not about that. It's, are you growing as a writer? Are you understanding the skills that a writer needs to articulate their message? It's not about necessarily the grade. It is about the communication. And they are going to grow when they receive clear targeted feedback and they have an opportunity to use that feedback to improve. Y'all, my dog is like right here, she's playing with her toys. I wish I could see her. She's running and scampering around. She's precious. Her little toy box is behind me. Sorry, I digress. So formative assessments are not extra. And people will say, well, then how do you do that in all the things that you do? Well, it just becomes an embedded practice, especially in the special ed world, because we're progress monitoring all the time, capturing what our students are doing, what they're not doing, how can we help them improve, what type of scaffolds and challenges and supports that they need. So it's just really how students are approaching their writing task with the formative assessments if it's built in intentionally in your lesson planning. And it's how teachers listen to student writing before the final grade is given. So that way we're actually talking and preaching and then walking in them steps because we tell our students all the time that writing is a process. But if we just have them turn it in and grade it, it's not a process. And we're not modeling that. So current K 12 research does show that formative assessments are improving literacy outcomes. If students are receiving feedback, they can monitor their progress, and teachers then adjust instruction based on what students need next. And that's where we move in with the gradual release of responsibility, scaffolds, supports, extensions, and challenges, because we are shaping our writers when we do that work. So it's not just assigning a prompt, it's shaping writers. And how do we do that? It's through direct instruction. So, yes, I have a power move called Fly. That's for peer review. I'm going to share that in another video. That's going to come later. But right now, I just want you to kind of get away from the too many category issue because that was a problem for me. Maybe it's not a problem for you. Maybe you've got it down pat. I want you to drop comments in the research. I want you to drop comments in the section below, so that way I can hear some great rubric tricks that you've used to help students with self-monitoring, peer reviews, teacher conferences, family conferences. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it because right now I want to share some tools with you that have worked for me, and maybe they will work for you. All right. So the 1 point rubric, y'all, I bought me a shirt that says not yet, not yet. And it has an exclamation point, and someone saw me on campus with it, and they asked me, did it say not yeti? And I'm like, oh my gosh, not yet. No, but I found that to be comical. So thinking about simplifying language and putting our standard in the middle, and well, we're not there yet. And this, I know it, but not only do I know it, but I show it. I show it through my writing. So this is a simple way that can enhance student growth. And what you do is you put your writing standard in the middle. So whatever that standard would be, and then you highlight if they have an area that they need to improve. So then it gives them something that they can refer right back to, and they see the expectation, they see highlighted parts of it. It's really quick for you to do that. Or students can highlight it, peers can highlight it. Students can take control of their learning. And then if they're not yet there, they could then partner with I know it and show it, so that way they can learn from their peers and they can get tips from their peers. So this would be a way to collectively build not yets with I know it's and show it's. You can have then a not yet group. So this is a great way for flexible grouping where you can do parallel teaching, or you can have a station set up for an I know it and show it, where they then have to do a thoughts behind the writing, where then they can expound upon their moves that they make, their writing moves that they make. So you can use the different co-teaching models that are in place for our special ed with a not yet and I know it and show it, to then be able to make instructional moves around your classroom by reteaching, practice, and extension. So I think this is so cool because it's quick. It is not confusing. It is not complex. It's not where when you're teaching this, you're getting right to the point of it. And the standard expectation could also be the IEP writing goal expectation. So that one would be something that you could keep all year for your student. You could have it laminated, or you can make a placemat with that. You could have it on the board at the front, and students could sticky note where they think they are with a self assessment. So there's all kinds of ways that you can do this. So I love the 1 point rubric. All right, let me show you a different one. Okay, guys, listen. The first discovery of MagicSchool AI was when I was looking for a way to generate rubrics. And this came up as recommended, and I started on it. I started playing around with it. And okay, an AI generated rubric might sound like a shortcut to you. Well, yes, it is. It is a shortcut. I admit it. It saved me a ton of time. But what it actually did is it helped me to see something that I had been missing. Like, it helped me go straight to the target and ask better questions, because when you are prompting into AI, it's all about how you are shaping the prompt, right? What you're asking it to go and do. And so it helped me move my rubrics to the closer target that I wanted. Like, what's the standard? What's the writing move I'm looking for? What should students be able to do after I teach them this? And those types of questions that I started thinking about as I was phrasing out my prompting actually helped me clearly name it before I just try to go in and go on a table and start building out my rubric myself. So I don't want you to think that MagicSchool AI replaced my professional judgment, because that's not what it does. It helps me sharpen my professional judgment, and it helps me think of better questions. Like, is the criterion aligned to the lesson? Is this language student friendly? Now can I make 3 different leveled types of rubrics that I can have for my emerging writers, my developing writers, and my fluent writers? And so now I can pop out 3 rubrics after I've created the 1 rubric that is a modified rubric that can help with my learners and meet them where they are. So I'm telling you guys, it's a game changer. I realized that I had really been writing rubrics to protect myself as a teacher. Like, if somebody came and said, well, how did you grade this essay? Well, here's the rubric. Here's what they scored on this. No, it's not about that at all. I needed to start writing rubrics to coach the student, to meet the student where they were. And MagicSchool AI really helped me do this in a fast, efficient manner, and I trust what came out of there because it aligned with everything that I was thinking if I wouldn't have been so tired when I was trying to make the rubric to begin with. So, writing is cognitively demanding. We know this. Students are trying to juggle a lot of things at once when we are asking them to do this SOAR framework or any kind of writing framework or an instructional strategy. Like we're like manage your ideas, state and share your ideas, organize all your evidence, pick your evidence, grammar, clarity, audience, all of these layers all at the same time. So rubrics that are done well can decrease that burden by giving students a clear path to follow. So instead of asking students to magically know whether their writing is strong, we can give them a tool that helps them notice what's working, what's missing, and what needs to be revised. So if you want to try Magic School AI, go for it. I love it. I highly recommend it, and it is free. All right. So now I want to move to my next one. Oh no, it way. I hit it too far. Thank you, Canva. I love Canva. I'm presenting through there. Okay. Now, Magic School AI over there. All right, that's the color coded rubric. Now, I'm a visual person, and so were many of my students. And so I want to let you know that a color coded three choice rubric is really easy, it's quick. Students have that cognitive cue. They can move themselves up and down the rubric. This would be a 1, 2, 3 rubric if you don't want to use colors, and one would mean not yet. I love using that language with my students. So I do not like rubrics that say poor or fair. What does that even mean? And it's negative. I don't like that. So to me, it's just like, well, you're not there yet. We're gonna get there though. We're gonna meet this destination, and we're gonna figure out what scaffold supports coaching, teaching, partner reviews, what models, what do you need to help you move through this. But you're just not there yet. Because remember, writing is a process, right? And smart learners and smart writers always understand that it is a process, that it's not a one and done. So the colors change. So think about it as like I'm thinking of the stoplight, like you're sitting there and it's red right now, but it doesn't always stay red, or you're going to be late, or traffic jams, or they're going to call in a technician. It's not always red. Things will change and things will grow based on the cognitive demands that we're placing on students. So the red, yellow, and green can change throughout SOAR because they may be able to green state their claim, but red, they are not aligning their evidence. And so it can change throughout. So this is a great color coding system that you can use. You met the target. So this is what strong writing looks like. 3 colors or 3 choices or 3 numbers, however you want to do it. So what you're trying to do though is to foster a sense of ownership and allowing students to be able to communicate around their writing. So it's not just, well, I didn't do, I didn't do well. I don't like to write. Well, what is it a part that gave you trouble, or where did you feel you had a roadblock? So this is not any kind of thing that is like fluff or something for a distraction or a decoration. This is an instructional design that can help students engage in communications, but it also can send clear signals to parents when they see this. So you're not giving them something super complicated like the 5-column, 20-piece rubrics and all of that. You could do color coding systems that can also help your parents understand how to navigate the support that they can offer at home. So, just so you guys know, writing growth does not happen because students receive a score at the end, right? That is not going to grow anybody in their writing. It happens when students understand that target, they receive clear feedback from you, from their peers, they are self monitoring, they are revising with purpose, and research on formative assessment shows all of this, and it can improve quality writing. So we want to make sure that we are coaching our students and giving them a rubric like a gift. just like they're offering evidence to the reader like a gift. These rubrics that we are creating, it's not meant to overwhelm, confuse, but to bring clarity and next steps for the student. So, rubrics are powerful in this process because they make the invisible expectations of writing visible. And they help students or families or teachers or your assistants or your co teachers, everybody that is working with your students, see the expectations. What does that strong writing require? It reduces the guessing game of the I'm not sure what my teacher wants or I'm not sure how this should be. And it gives students a structure that they can actually use as self assessment. And that's key. If your students can't use it, why are we creating it, right? We're using it we're doing this for our students. So it should be a teaching tool that you are explicitly, directly teaching and using throughout. You're referencing it, you're going back to it. Your students have a copy, you've got a big copy posted, everybody's understanding it. They're using it as a feedback tool with their peer support, with their self assessments. And it's a student thinking tool that increases their metacognition around writing. So, here's what all those tools taught me. Whether it's the number of boxes, maybe you want to try the 1 point rubric, maybe you want to try MagicSchool AI and really draft something that fits your next assignment, or you might want to do the color coding systems. This is what this has really asked me to, like, a question that keeps coming to me is this supporting my teaching? Is the rubric supporting my teaching? Is it supporting the learning? And it's not just a measure, and it's not just a label, and it's not just to defend a grade, right? Like my high school people would be like challenged by this because we have to defend why we're giving on these longer essays. Like, well, why is this one considered an A, but this student got a B, and this one's a C, and this kid just so missed the mark? So it's not just to defend that grade, even though it helps to do that. We know that, and we need a system. We need a rubric. We know we need it, but we need it for teaching and learning. And so when I built the SOAR framework out, I built it around that belief of that R, of that revise and refine, and how that R of that rubric helps us to do that. So each part of SOAR gives students a writing move that they can name, practice, and assess, and that's the difference. It's not 20 boxes, it's SOAR. And a part of that revise and refine is that they need a strong rubric to help support that work. So that's a clear next step for you is where do you kind of want to go right now? Maybe you want to look at a current rubric you've got in place and evaluate it with some of those questions. Does it align? Is it something that is in student friendly language? Is it something that my students are using as a coaching tool for themselves, or is it just for me to defend the grade? You might try MagicSchool AI. You might implement the color coding system. Whichever one of these that you are going to fit for your action plan, I want to hear from you. So are you ready to reset your rubrics? Transform them today. Reach out to me, like, subscribe, share this with your teacher friends. That's my challenge for you guys. Just do one thing. Just do one thing, one action from this video. Put it in the comments and let me know what you're looking at. Have you tried a one-step rubric or a 1 point rubric? Have you tried a color coding system? How did that work for you? What do you think about MagicSchool AI? I didn't create it. We can talk about it. Tell me what you think. I absolutely love it for many reasons. One is it's efficient, it's time, and it helps me ask the right questions because the stronger question and answering I can have with self as I'm prompting, then the quality is so much better. So I just can't wait to hear about how you're going to build clear targets, simple feedback. You're going to promote strong writing growth because you're working this SOAR model. So thanks for joining me, and stay tuned for more writing videos. I love doing these. If there are other writing challenges or something is difficult for your students to grasp, or you're just a roadblock on teaching, just let me know. And I can't wait to hear from you. So have a great day, guys. God bless.